In this video, I will describe the Tech Academy's C# and .NET Bootcamp. Let's start with what C# is. C# is a modern programming language developed by Microsoft. Now, as a reminder, a programming language is simply a specialized system of words and symbols you can use to create computer programs. C# is widely used for building a variety of applications, including desktop, web, and mobile software. For example, the popular program Microsoft Word was created with C#. It is one of the most used and in-demand programming languages in the world. Now, why is this called the C# and .NET Bootcamp? Well, .NET is an extremely large collection of code and tools that make the creation of new computer programs happen much faster. Like C#, it was developed by Microsoft. As an example of its use, Skype, the popular voice and video call service, was built with .NET. As a note about .NET, it is a framework. Simply put, a framework is like a toolkit created by others that makes building programs easier and more efficient. Frameworks include things like pre-written code, tools, and guidelines. .NET is one of the most used frameworks in the world. Just to give you a final example of how powerful C# and .NET are, the operating system Windows was developed with these tools. Knowing how to code in C# and how to utilize .NET is very useful and enhances your employability. And here's an interesting fact. Though we've expanded and perfected since we started the school, the .NET Bootcamp was the first bootcamp ever offered at the Tech Academy. We have well over a decade of experience in training students in these topics. The C# and .NET Bootcamp is for people interested in building enterprise software. Enterprise software refers to computer programs used to satisfy the needs of a company rather than individual users. For example, Salesforce, a very popular software for managing customers, is enterprise software. Additionally, C# is an excellent language for people interested in getting into video game development because it is used with the popular video game designer tool, Unity. So, for people interested in a long career in the technology sector, whether in corporate America or in the video game industry, this bootcamp is a great choice. On the C# and .NET Bootcamp, you'll learn 6 in-demand programming languages. There are around 10 courses on this certification program. They cover topics like computer science, which is the study of computers and how they work, programming fundamentals, HTML, the language used to create websites, CSS, the language used to style websites and change their appearance, JavaScript, a popular programming language that can be used to add functionality to websites and that can also be used to create powerful computer programs, SQL, that stands for Structured Query Language and is simply the language used to work with databases, the C# language, .NET, version control, which is a tool that tracks changes made to files, helping users work together and go back to previous versions if necessary. Visual Studio. This is a widely used program that you use to write and execute your code inside. And Agile and Scrum, which is just fancy names for in-demand project management technologies used in the tech industry. You will learn other tools on your bootcamp as well. You can find the complete list of courses included in this bootcamp on our website. But what it all comes down to is this. Everything you'll learn is based on what employers need and want. We limit the subjects to real-world skills that you'll actually use on the job. We want you to have a large enough toolkit to succeed long-term in the tech industry. And so, the product of the C# and .NET Bootcamp is not only a junior-level developer able to perform the basic duties required of their position, it's one who is able to stay abreast of changes in tech and further educate themselves as needed. This is a thorough bootcamp, and by the end of it, you will have a well-rounded skill set. On it, you will cover around 600 study hours worth of content and tasks. It can take between 3 and 6 months to complete, depending on your study schedule. If you study 40 hours each week, you can complete the C# bootcamp in around 15 weeks. Students who put in even more hours can expect to finish even faster, one of the many benefits of a self-paced program. If you purchase access for a specific amount of weeks, but don't finish in that time, you can purchase an extension. On this bootcamp, you'll be trained in front-end, the part of a website or program the user sees and interacts with, and back-end, refers to the database and portions the user doesn't see, development. As a graduate of this program, you will be a full-stack junior-level software developer. Full stack refers to the ability to work on every element of the software development process, including creating the software itself, developing the front-end user interface for that software, linking the software to a database, and more. You will be able to create web applications and desktop applications. You will also be set up to self-teach yourself how to make mobile applications, which is another thing C# can do. Even though a lot of data is included in this bootcamp, it would be impossible to describe everything regarding each language. They cover all there is to these subjects in a bootcamp. For example, you can study everything there is to know about the C# programming language, and when you are done, you'd have to start over because part of it would have changed in significant ways. What do I mean? Well, throughout the years, there have been many versions of C#. C# 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, all the way up to 10, and there will be more. Now, to be clear, 99% of the basics and fundamentals of this language will stay the same. These versions typically add functionality as opposed to changing everything. But the point is, learning to code is not a memorization game. It's all about learning the fundamentals so that, as I mentioned earlier, you can self-teach and self-debug. Our focus is to make you competent, not to turn you into a parrot. The point is, we cover the basics of each language and subject, enough to where you can perform the most routine tasks, and to the point where you'll be able to pick up any additional needed skills on your own. Yes, the purpose of this bootcamp is to provide you with enough skills, but even more important than that, we want you to be able to learn and solve problems on your own. After all, we won't be there with you at your job. This bootcamp will prepare you for a wide range of entry-level technology positions and put you on the road to your long-term, secure, and lucrative career in tech. The C# and .NET Bootcamp is a major undertaking, a serious commitment, and a considerable investment, but it's worth it. If you think this is the bootcamp for you, you can enroll today, and I hope you do. Thank you for your time, and good luck.